Hello, and today we're going to take you on the Way of the Roses, which crosses right the way across the north of England. And we're going to take you through to Wharfdale, and we're going to particularly visit two villages which are very beautiful, Grassington and Linton. So I just want to show you here, you can see the Way of the Roses coming in across this area from Settle through down towards Winterburn and then up and around. And we're just going to take a beautiful section of it that goes between Hetton and towards Linton. We've also got Bolton Abbey. You can start really and include any of the places around here, but we've got loads going on. There's the Leeds-Liverpool Canal below, there's Skipton, which is another beautiful town. So there's lots of places that you can visit, lots of places to start, and it doesn't really matter. We're going to start right the way down at position A, which is Eshton, but you can see here is our route, and we're going to follow up from Eshton along the bit of the Way of the Roses into Winterburn, then into Hetton, which is a beautiful little village. Love to buy a house there, but way outside of my price league. Down into Cracoe, and then after Cracoe we're going to take a little tiny route over the top of the hill, absolutely beautiful and very remote, and that's going to drop us down, and we turn in towards Linton, as you can see here. Rather than going into Linton, we're going to go across to Grassington, where they film All Creatures Great and Small for the Channel 4 series, and then after some time in there we're going to head back towards Linton and then take the slightly larger route back to where we go. But there's some wonderful walks. You've got your Linton Falls walk, you've got your Suspension Bridge walk, which connects you through to Bolton Abbey. So this is the route we're going to be taking, and you can see it connects with almost anywhere. It's about 30k tops, so there's plenty of opportunity to have a bit of a rest, and I would say this is a great sort of Saturday morning ride that you can do and visit places. Very beautiful, lots of pubs, lots of places to stop, and really exciting. So before moving on, make sure you click the like and subscribe buttons down below to keep informed as to what's going on, and if you want a more detailed description of this journey, then go to our commute page. That's Paul and Diane on the Tandem, and you'll find that there's a GPX file that you can download and use from there. So we're going to leave here. We're leaving from Eshton. Now the road surface here is really good, and we're going to head up past, I think it's called Eshton Manor. You can see there on the left, and this is quite a steep hill over this bit, but then when we get to the top it levels out, and then we start to drop down on the other side down into the village of Winterburn. Now there's quite tall hedges on the left, but keep your eye on them, because as you approach into Winterburn, don't take that bridge on the left there, you will see that there's all sorts of wildflowers growing in the hedgerows, primroses, snowdrops, the lot. And we were there just as the newborn lambs were being born, literally everywhere all around. So we're following out of Winterburn towards the town, or the village of Hetton, which is only a dozen or so houses. So we work our way over. When you're on a bike, you can see over the top of these walls, and the scenery is just breathtaking all the way. Definitely recommend it. Because there's no building, then the quality of the roads is excellent. There's a horse field on the left where the horses always chat with you. So here we are coming towards the back of Hetton, just really dropping down into the village. You can see it sort of growing here, and then we have to take a sharp turn around a farmhouse into the centre. There's a nice green there where you can stop, and no shops, and then we work our way out of Hetton. Now they were doing some building work out here, and we're heading towards Cracoe, but one of the things you've got to watch out for is this level crossing. If there is a locomotive on it, it's carrying gravel from a huge quarry that's further up, and the literally goes on forever, so you can be waiting there for quite a time, but that's really only once or twice a week. So now we're heading up out of Cracoe, and then we're going to actually in the town. Here we are through the centre of Cracoe, and this is a nice place to stop. That's a really lovely pub there on the right, and there's plenty of B&Bs. Wonderful place to start from, because Grassington is literally around the corner. Now we're going to turn right here, and this is the Way of the Roses cycle ride. It is steep. Well, it's steep, and then you think it's levelled off, and then suddenly it drops down, and then you've got to change back up. So you've got to watch out on the gears. You can find yourself in the wrong gear very quickly, but much more exposed, brutally in some places. Can be some savage winds that come here, but we're now following our way up this hill, and it does go on a long time, but the road surface is really good, and in fact they've been doing some repairs recently. You can see those, and that house there on the left has just been restored. The verge was beginning to break up, but they've fixed a lot of that. You can see there again on the right, and as we get over the top, it's beautifully looked after. There's daffodils and everything. And we're now going to drop down. Once we get to the top here, we're just going to pass these people that are walking. They've cut across from Linton actually, so they're right on that little bit of a dog leg. We do a quick turn, and then we're going to plummet down towards the right, down the hill. It's pretty steep. In fact, we still appear to be going up. It does go up and down all over the place. Here we go, dropping down, and then joining up with the main road at the bottom. Left turn, and follow along here. And rather than going towards Linton, we're now going to head right and work our way along here, around the doglegs, into the village of Grassington. So when you get to Grassington, just be a little aware that you're going to have to, we're going past Linton School here, and that's a place you can park on a Saturday. But on this road here, now it gets quite busy, and there's quite a steep hill as you head in over the river. So we've got to climb up here, and it's slower than you think. There's a lot of traffic coming around, so you might prefer to be on the pavement for this section. It is very steep, and then we're just going to turn left here into the town square. Now it was absolutely heaving because it was a Saturday, and the tourists love it. This is where they film ITV, or Channel 4 rather, films All Creatures Great and Small, and you'll be able to recognise several of the buildings. And it's wonderfully cobbled. It is incredibly popular as a place to go, and it is a lovely place to stop. There's no end of places to eat, no end of pubs, all sorts of things, but we're now just going to leave it. That was a quick look around, and we're now going to head back, retrace our steps, and then turn up towards the village of Linton. So we're retracing, and when you get into Linton, which is just round the corner here, it's really dominated by this village green. There's a bridge, and they were doing some photography for a wedding somewhere. The beautiful stream that runs through it, and lovely houses. There's actually quite a lot of houses here, but it is very, very well maintained, and it's just a lovely place to go. So if you've got a warm evening, it's lovely to sit out on the green here. There's a huge pub nearby that serves food, and we just went for a bit of a walk around the village. So there's the pub, there's the green, plenty of seats all the way around, and a really enjoyable and peaceful place to have a little stop. We had a cup of tea from our thermos and probably a piece of flapjack, but that's no surprise to anybody who's watched other of our videos. So now we're heading back, and now we're going to take the back road through Linton, and then we're going to turn off from that onto the main road. So we're just going to scoot around, heading over towards the large lane that's coming up. Now at certain times of the day this does get a lot of traffic on because it's just a cut through, but there's no white line, so it's not too major a road. So carry along here. You can see now the white line has started, and the surface is still very good. It's a bit grumbly in places, and looks like there's some building work going on here. It looks like a huge warehouse, so just be careful. Get to this corner where there's a house with lots of very distinctive windows on it, and now we're on the main road that goes beyond the quarry. Be careful here, this is a busy road. This is the main road that sort of connects everywhere within this part of Yorkshire. We're not going to be on it for a huge amount of time. We will pull out, but we do a couple of kilometres, and it's got some slower hills, and what we need to do is head back up towards Cracoe. So we're now following, you can see this road comes through Linton down towards Cracoe. So it is the main road. That's where we turned off left last time, or it was right when we were coming the other way, through the main part of the village, or the lower part of the village, Beautiful pub there, nice place to stop for a meal on the left. And then when we get round the corner here, we're going to turn right. There's always a car parked right on the junction. And we're going to head off past the town hall, which is in fact where the wedding had returned to that was taking place there. And now we're retracing our steps back, and it's very, very peaceful normally. So a few cars coming, but that's partly because of the wedding and other things that were taking place. It was just coming to an end as we left. So back through the villages in towards the back of Eshton. Eshton is beautiful. I would love to be able to afford to live there. We looked at one of the houses that was for sale, so we're going to turn right here, just off this green here, and it was a tiny little 3-bedroom semi for £850,000. So outside of the league of most of us. So now we follow along, carry out, back towards Winterburn. You can see down at the bottom of the map that road that we were on, the white road, carries on south. And we're now heading east or west through the little villages into Winterburn, past all the farms. This is really lovely when the sun's going down, because yes, the sun is in your face as we head west on the way home in the evening, but sometimes the colour is just astonishing. So we're now speeding our way down into the town of, or the village of Eshton, which is about 10 houses, and it's a very peaceful ride home. I think I must have set it at a higher speed. Bit of video. Here we go, past Eshton Manor, over the little bridge, past the well, up the hill, and we turn right at that point. So here's a summary of the route going from Eshton up to Grassington. Very, very easy, although it's got a few climbs in it, following the way of the roses, which then continues on. So alternative starting places, well, you could start down in Gargrave, that's where we go, because there is the Tandem centre down there, but there's lots of other places around, and you can see it links very, very easily, and you're just on the bottom edge of the DALES National Park. So here's a summary of the route, and we really thank you for joining us. We'd love you to like and subscribe to our videos. We're not getting a huge number of subscribers, which wasn't the purpose. The aim is to document really good rides. But if you've liked this content and enjoyed it, and surprised you've stayed on quite so long, then we'd really love you to hit the subscribe button and the like button. So we'll see you in the next video. I might have a little wander around Peterborough, I think. Take care and bye for now.